it's the right thing to do, and it's nice to have the sun producing my energy. And when I get older and I'm retired and I don't want to pay my big utility bills, then I will have solar producing my electricity for me.
That gave me an idea to figure out. I wanted to understand what it was for myself before some of our clients might be interested in it. So that was my first. I mean, I've always been interested in sustainable design, but that really gave me the impetus to say, wait a second, now's the time to get into that.
Because we wanted to, reduce our carbon footprint and just have a somewhat more sustainable lifestyle. So
I went solar thermal just because it was cheaper. Basically, to put PV on my roof, 4 or 5 kilowatt array, then you're looking at $20,000 or $25,000, and we didn't really have that.
There's a dozen Canadian Solar 200 watt panels up there. It's in about 350 or so kilowatt hours a month.
And we have 6 panels up there. It's fairly small.
85 to 90% of our power.
We have 18 panels
on the roof.
Thank you. Each is 230 watts, so it's a 4 kilowatt system. Over the course of the life that the panels have been online, we've generated 4,000 kilowatt hours of electricity, and we've kept about 2,300 kilograms of CO2 out of the atmosphere.
Basically, I have 2 solar arrays on the property. The first array is approximately 3,500 watts. It's on a fixed pole-mounted system. Although over the weekends, if I'm around the house, I'll manually pull it around to gain a little bit of additional capacity out of it. It actually feeds into a outback inverter that is a battery backed up system and provides backup power for me for my refrigerator, my well, and an outlet in the house. The second array is a array that ties back into a sun power inverter. It's on a tracking system. The second array is rated at 4,500 watts.
On a typical day, a day like today where the sun's out for a good portion of the day, we'll generate anywhere from 15 to 25,000 watt hours. Actually, we're putting more electricity back on the grid than we're consuming.
You go to the meter upstairs, you'll see I took a meter reading this morning, and you can see how much it's gone backwards. Because during the day, we produce more power than we're using, so we feed it into the grid. They are acting as our battery, and then at night they give us power, or anytime we're using more power than we're producing.
We're usually around 300 kilowatt hours a month, so this 2.8 kilowatt system should supply 85 to 90% of our power.
And my biggest problem is the amount of space that I have.
Our house faces southeast, and we have these large tulip poplar trees, and so we're not in the ideal location. Ideally you would have sun all day, but I knew from before that we would have enough sun.
We can't use the entire roof because we have a little turret in front, at the front of the house, and that kind of casts a shadow on part of the roof.
Make sure that you've got a good southern exposure, which I do here. I mean, I'm pretty much facing south, but in the afternoon I lose a little bit of productive time.
When the first array went in, we actually had some problems because what happened is that Pepco's service to my house was not as good as it should be. I had something called a floating neutral. It took us almost a year to diagnose and figure out exactly what was wrong.
This is the dollars saved per month. So here's dollars, and then here are the months.
I think it's still very expensive, or at least it was when we did it. I think costs could come down a little bit, and then it would be more viable, economically viable for more people even without the subsidies that we're getting right now.
We paid about $10,000 for that, and then after all the rebates, we ended up paying about $4,500. And if you do the exact same system today, the incentives are higher, so you would pay $3,500. Kind of affordable in our price range, and it got us into solar, and we're doing something useful. Heating our hot water for free.
We're generating 720 watts. Earlier in the day, it was up over 2,000. The sun was up higher in the sky. Today we generated almost 11 kilowatt hours.
Problems with the trees. We have plenty of them, which keeps the yard nice and cool, obviously, during the hot summer months. But their angle is just right that they don't hit the solar panels spring, summer, fall, and then the winter there are no leaves on the trees, so it's not an issue.
We could only
offset our electricity usage at night when you got your home from work and you got your lights on. And they were not allowing us to offset electricity produced during a different time frame.
Work with your installer and make sure that you know as much as possible about sizing the equipment, and make sure that you have a way of facing the panels south, and enjoy watching your meter go backwards.
As long as you can figure that out, I think it's very easy, and it makes a lot of sense for a lot of people, especially in DC where we get a lot of sunshine.
I'll tell you what's cool about it is it just works every day, you know, and like sometimes I'm in the morning real early, and the sun's just up, and I'm helping the kids with the papers, and you know, it'll be switching on, and I'm like, with what? It's almost no sun out. The sun just came up, but it's pretty cool.
So do you think it was the right decision to make that choice?
I think it was the right decision.
Do it. It's a worthwhile investment, not just for the environment, but for your electric bills. The last 4 months, my electric bills have been a grand total of 37 cents.